Okay, and welcome to the Healthy Boundary course for Maximize Your Gifts. What we're going to be looking at today, we're just going to give you a quick introduction just so that you know what's going on. And pretty much what the takeaway from this is you can change anything, anytime, anywhere. And anywhere you don't believe that or think that or know that, can we destroy and uncreate that right now? Thank you. Alrighty, let's get going and find out why you're actually taking this Healthy Boundary course, which is part of the second module for Maximize Your Gifts. So these tools are going to help you change anything, anyone, anywhere, and quickly. They're going to help neutralize emotional reactions. They're going to create feelings of peace and calm. They're going to create physical healing. They're going to heal emotional wounds. They're going to eliminate negative behaviors, transform limiting mindsets and beliefs. They're going to increase psychic abilities, and they're going to raise your frequency and your consciousness. So these tools are going to help you change anything, anyone, anywhere, and they're going to do it quickly. They're going to help you neutralize emotional reactions. They're going to create feelings of peace and calm. They're going to create physical healing. They're going to heal emotional wounds. They're going to eliminate negative behaviors. They're going to transform limiting mindsets and beliefs. They're going to increase psychic abilities, and they're going to raise your frequency and raise your consciousness. So let's have a look at the life of Dr. Sue. So I clear, balance, and protect my day from start to finish and everything in between. I start with the kiddos, the husband, the food we eat, our driving path for the day, the school, the teachers, students, activities, grocery store, mail, phone, TV, computers, cars, clients, friends, family, and the unknown. I mean, literally our whole path for the whole entire day, and also the unknown. Now, that seems like a lot when you're starting out, and it can be, but 10-15 minutes is all you really require. So it might take you 30 minutes, it might take you an hour, but the more you use these tools, the quicker it gets. So I can pretty much go, guys, go take care of that for me, and it'll be done. So, I ask for everything just to be cleared, everything to be balanced, and most of all protected, and just full of ease, joy, and glory. Oh, look at that, glory. In this reality for highest and best good, 24/7, that is 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days of the year, all eternity, all infinity. And if I sense anything off throughout the day, I just go straight to the questions and I go straight to the tools. What is it? Can I change it? How can I change it? And I start using the tools, and I clear and I balance and I protect, and I refill. So and what you're going to learn from this is you're going to learn how to do that too, and that's going to increase your trust in yourself, but it's also you're going to know what value you actually bring by what you actually know. Let's go to the next one. So let's talk about energy. Energy is just as a subtle form. What is it? Energy is a subtle system of form, substance, sound, and essence, and it flows within and out of each one of us. And there's two types of energy. There's beneficial energy, which I call BE, and that's intended for highest and best good. It's helpful energy for your purpose. It's ease, joy, and glory. It's unconditional love, peace. Call beneficial energy what you will. Non-beneficial energy, NBE, it's nasty, it's icky, it's mean, it's horrible. It's just not helpful to your purpose. It kinks your day badly. So if you're tired of being beat up by non-beneficial energy, if you want to be free of non-beneficial energy, if you're ready to release, that old ways and make way for that beneficial energy, it's waiting for you. So you're going to learn how to redirect that non-beneficial energy so you can fully make use of and enjoy your beneficial energy, and life can be easy. And it's interesting. As an infinite being, is there really a difference between beneficial and non-beneficial? No. But in this reality, somehow we've created a separation. So in creating that separation, if we're choosing to be infinite beings, do we really need any of this? No. So in getting back to that point, these tools help you get back to that point. So basically, it's a 5-step process. You're going to learn how to clear. You're going to learn how to change. You're going to learn how to balance. You're going to learn how to protect. And more importantly, you're going to learn how to refill. And I think that's where a lot of people miss this step. And it's love, it's light, it's ease, it's joy, glory, peace, whatever it is for you. So this is a 5-step process. So we're going to teach you how to do it. So what you have to keep in mind when you're running these exercises that I'm going to get to, so this is the introduction, is that there is space between molecules. So here we've got a water molecule, you've got H2 and then O. Can you see all this space here? You've got the molecule itself and there's space in the molecule, but then you've actually got all this space between molecules. So if you have a look at this as a nucleus, you got your electrons. Look at all of the space in there. Non-beneficial energy, it can actually attach to the molecules, but then it can actually hide in all these spaces. So if you keep in mind that when you're running, the Kevlar net, and I'm going to explain this here in a minute, or you're running the triple bubble, or you're creating the hologram, keep in mind where that non-beneficial energy, it can hide. And this is where it hides. It hides in the nooks and it hides in the crannies. It hides in the angles. So when you clear stuff out, you're going to be really mindful of this. So here are the spaces to be aware of. The nervous system, the sympathetic, the go, the parasympathetic, the slow, the meridians, pulse points, acupuncture points, connective tissue, bone, blood, lymph, skin, cells, plasma, brain, neurotransmitters, DNA, the bars, the Reiki, heart to heart, reflexes, receptors, archetypes, morphic field, quantum field, God field, whatever you want to call it, field, zone field, space between atoms, essential oils. And you can add to this list whatever else you know that I haven't got on this list. This is just to give you some spaces to be aware of. So whatever you're aware of, you can add that here. So just keep in mind that when you're running these exercises, it's for highest and best good. You have to create a space to work in that is only for your highest and best good, but also others' highest and best good and nothing else. Because sometimes you'll see something and you'll be like, ooh, can I clear? Like you'll ask a question and you'll get a no. And so you have to be okay that answer's a no, and you just have to remove yourself and move on. And so if it's still bugging you, then you can get in there and say, hey, is there something that I can run here to discharge this? So step 1 really is to visualize a bubble around you. And your priority is to create a space that is only for your highest and best good and nothing else. So if you're ready to have some fun, first I just want you to spend a little bit of time. You can use a cardboard box. You can use a color to the bubble. You can just say, hey, I've got a bubble on. If you can't visualize, you might be able to hear it. You just might be able to sense it. So I want you to use what you know and just create that bubble around you for you right now. Okay, there we go. Good job. So what you're going to be doing is you're going to be learning how to clear, and you're going to be learning how to balance. And so the act of for clearing, the act of changing the energy in and around you from harmful, non-beneficial energy, and you're going to allow that beneficial energy to flow and create that healthy boundary. And right now you can't see it, but when we get into the exercises, you'll have a better idea. So we're just kind of giving you a little intro right now. I know you want to get into it, but just bear with me. So balance is the act of creating balance with the beneficial energy in and around you for highest and best good. And that boundary allows you to be balanced, because a lot of times we don't have a boundary, and this is what the problem is that we're letting all this non-beneficial energy come and poop on our lawn, our energy lawn as I call it, and we don't even know. And so once we become aware of it, we can say, not on my watch, get off my lawn, and you'll actually be aware of it coming. And a lot of times we are unaware, even though we are aware, but we're thinking that being unaware is helping us when it is not. So what this course does is helps get you aware, be okay that you're aware, and in that it creates the trust and the value. So let's go to protect and refill. So protection is the act of creating that healthy boundary free of that non-beneficial energy, and we have to have a space for that beneficial energy to be. And for so many of us, we're so addicted to choosing that non-beneficial energy that there is just no space for that beneficial energy. So in creating that protection, this is a lifestyle choice right here, is that you're choosing to say no to NBE and you're choosing to say yes to BE. But in the past, it's been switched. So would you be willing right now to release the addiction to the non-beneficial energy and replace it with an abundance of beneficial energy right now. It's for your highest and best good. Would you be willing to do that right now? Great. I mean, life is easier with beneficial energy, and sometimes we bring in that MBE just to prove that we can get rid of stuff. So anywhere where you're doing that or will do that, we destroy and uncreate all that. Excellent. All right, so refill is the act of filling up the healthy boundary you just created so that non-beneficial energy cannot return. Here's the thing. In creating this healthy boundary course, beneficial energy has a higher conscious level than non-beneficial energy. And it's one of the things I want to show you in the map of consciousness with David Hawkins. Very, 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 very fascinating. Okay, let's get on with it. So in this healthy boundary course, you're going to learn the Kevlar net, and that's going to be for clearing. I mean, it is awesome to creating that healthy boundary. I'm going to teach you bubble, God, bubble. If you don't like the God word, take it out and put source and creator in there. I don't care who you use, just bubble, blank bubble. It helps create the healthy boundary. You're going to use the letter bubble, and that's going to help create balance. You're going to learn the double bubble, and that's going to help separate that. I don't like to use the word separate. Create an awareness between dark and light, and it helps create balance. The triple bubble here, yes, no, maybe. I use this a lot. It helps to create that boundary, but also protection. Because what this is all about, yes, no, or maybe, is all about yes, for those, for that energy that is for your highest and best good, that 100% supports your magnificence and your brilliance. And this is the one that actually helps to increase that trust and value. Cutting cords, bye-bye sucker. So anything that's just sucking your energy or is just a big fat pain in the patootie, this one actually helps create protection because it gets rid of all the crud. And the hologram here, that helps to deflect that non-beneficial energy. And this is an interesting one because this is where you really get to be aware of where you're actually choosing non-beneficial energy, even though you don't think you are. And you can actually have a choice on whether you choose it or not. And then you've got forgiveness. So it gives this helps give you your freedom back. Helps give you back. So, you know, what I've heard people say about these techniques is that they're enjoying their sense of peace and clarity with their boundary. They can, I find I can change my husband and kiddos' moods using the tools and quickly, and they are much, much easier to get along with and live with. And my family receives me better and have been healthier and much easier to be with. I can receive easier and have earned way more money than before. So these are just some of the things that people are saying. So it's pretty cool. All right, what else have we got? There we go. That is the last slide. So there you have it, folks. That is what, so pretty much the takeaway from this is that you can change anything, anywhere, anytime. And I just wanted you to have this introduction so that when you're, running the Kevlar nut and the bubble God bubble and the letter bubble and the double bubble and the triple bubble and cutting the cords and the hologram and running the forgiveness, is that you've got something to draw upon. Now, a lot of people ask, when do I use these tools? And which tool do I use for what? I say use all the tools all the time. So I would start with the Kevlar net, then go bubble, God bubble, letter bubble, double bubble, triple bubble, and you're thinking, oh, that's going to take forever. To be honest, the more you use them, the more you can just say Kevlar net, run. Bubble, God bubble, run. Letter bubble, run. Double bubble, run. And then at some point, you'll get so good at them that you can just say boundary course, run. And it'll run all of it, like right then and there. And it'll be quick. And you'll actually see it change. So, there's a number of places. Let me just go back to here for you. This one. So, can this help neutralize emotional reactions? Absolutely. So, I'll give you a quick little story. So, my daughter was 3.5. She's 8 now. And she had an absolute meltdown. Like on the kitchen floor, laying on her tummy, kicking her arms and her legs, her head down, and I'm like, oh wow, cool, look at that. So I did. I ran the Kevlar net. I ran every single one of those tools, and I looked at her as I was running them, and I said, sweetheart, that really doesn't work for mommy. And so she ignored me and carried on and got louder, and I'm like, wow, that really doesn't work for mommy, and I bet it's not working for you either. And she kind of paused for a second, enough that I could sneak. I actually got down to her level on the ground, and I said, well, what else is possible? And she looked at me and she goes, she said something, I don't remember what it said. I said, well, let's go do it. And we went and did it. And to this day, knock on wood, she has never had another reaction like that. So here's what you have to remember is you got to use the tools, and you got to ask them to run, and you got to use them. It's a lifestyle choice. Create feelings of peace and calm. So I use this one a lot, especially with the kids, like for exam day, their STAR testing, or any test they've got coming up. I'll run the Kevlar net through the exam. I'll run the Kevlar net through the students, through the teachers. I'll make sure that, the pencils are clear, the seat and the desk they're sitting at are clear. I'll run all the tools. If there's an interview, or, if there's somewhere where you need peace and calm, like if you're going, any type of meeting, you can run all these tools and, create that highest and best good for everybody. And it does really, really, really work. So many times, I'll run these tools when the kids are going into a group of something to do something, and every single time, wow, this is the best group of kids I've ever had. I'm like, gee, funny that. So you got to use your tools. Create physical healing. So I've got some really cool stories for this really quickly. So I had a lady who had a friend with, I think it was leukemia, some type of blood disorder. So I taught her these tools, and had her run Kevlar net through the blood. I had her use all these tools specifically on the blood and the bone marrow. Well, a couple of weeks later, she came back to me and she says, Dr. Sue, you wouldn't believe what happened. I'm like, probably I will. She goes, well, my friend that you taught me to use these tools on, I said, yeah. She says, her blood's clear. There's nothing left of anything, and the doctors are like, what'd you do? She's like, I didn't do anything. So her friend is like, after the fact, I did this and this and this. So yeah, can it create physical healing? Absolutely. If there's a pain or an ache, you get in there and you run that Kevlar net, you run the letter bubble, you create the hologram. More often than not, you've got some cords there with people. So you get in there and you run all these tools. It really does work. Same with the emotional wounds. Like if there's a charge on something, like that forgiveness, especially if there's emotional wound, forgiveness is one of the biggest ones there. But you can't get to forgiveness unless you create that space for highest and best good for that beneficial energy to be there. Because more often than not, the reason why there's a charge is because there's non-beneficial energy hanging around. So if you can run all the tools before you do the forgiveness, it'll make the forgiveness part much, much easier. And I actually encourage you to do an experiment. Pick a subject, not too big a one that's a little unpleasant. Do the forgiveness part first. Run the forgiveness exercise first, and just see how easy it is or how hard it is. Come back, run through all the exercises, Kevlar net, bubble, God bubble, etc., and then go back and do the forgiveness exercise, and just compare and see, is it easier? Is it not easier? What's easier for you? What else have we got? Oh, eliminate negative behaviors. Oh, this is a brilliant one. So I've got a couple of stories on this one. So which one should I tell you first? Okay, so I had a client, a female, and she had a not very nice husband. And so we ran through and we taught her how to use the tools. Well, what he used to do is he used to throw water bottles when he got mad. A little bit odd. And so I taught her the Kevlar net. I taught her all the tools. We practiced them. She used them. Well, she came back a couple of weeks later and she says, Dr. Sue, the anger is gone. He does not get angry anymore. And if he gets a little upset, I run the tools and it dissipates it. And she says, thank you so much. I've got my husband back. This poor bugger was just full of non-beneficial energy and he didn't know how to handle it all. So, can you change the negative behaviors? Yes, you can. Can you eliminate it? It's possible. I've seen people do it. Other negative behaviors are, teenagers who aren't making good choices. They are being influenced by that non-beneficial energy, and if you can get in there and use all these tools, you can change those kids around. ADHD, behavior stuff in kids. I mean, man, you can really, really change it with these tools. Let's see. Transform. Oh, what was the other story I had on the negative? Oh, yes, I've got one more story on the negative behavior. So I was in the store not long after recording all of this, and I'm standing at the checkout, and there's this gentleman there, older gentleman, and he's getting very upset that the coupon that he has is not actually a coupon, but it looks like a coupon. And the lady at the checkout, all he wanted to do was just buy a case of water. And the actual the actual thing in his hand was saying that be on the lookout for a coupon that you can buy this water. Well, when you look at this piece of paper, it actually looks like a coupon. I mean, it's quite a silly idea, really. So this poor bugger is getting all upset, and then the cashier's getting all upset. And so I'm like, this really isn't working for me, and all the other checkouts are full, and this poor bugger's creating a spectacle. And so I'm like, all right, Kevlarnet run, Bubble Girl Bubble run, let's cut the cords between these two and everyone else in the store. I mean, I ran through every single tool, and finally, I mean, it just, took me a couple of minutes because I've been practicing them a lot. Finally, the lady's like, look, I'll go ahead and give you the discount this time, but please, you'll need to bring the correct coupon with you. And he goes, okay, fair enough. And everything just instantly just calmed down. And so it's just interesting that creating that beneficial energy boundary helped both of them get out of that, no, I'm not doing it, and yes, you have to, and blah, 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 so that they could reach a resolution. So, you can use these tools anywhere, on anyone, anytime. So please, 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 please. Oh, the other place I use them is in traffic. If I'm trying to drive somewhere or go anywhere, I'll run the Kevlarnet through my path. I'll run the Kevlarnet through the traffic lights, through the intersections, through everyone else around me, and I'll cut cords. I mean, I use every single tool on that list that I showed you. Alrighty. So there's nowhere that you can't use these tools. You just have to remember to do them. So transforming limiting mindsets and beliefs. This is important because the whole reason you're doing this is because of that lack of confidence, and we need to increase your confidence, which is increasing your trust and increasing the value of you. So you can run the Kevlarnet through that lack of trust and that lack of value and that lack of confidence. You can run all these tools on that for yourself. You can also run it on your kids as well. Like, my daughter, Miss 8 right now, has this point of view that she can't read. And I'm like, honey, you're going into 4th grade. So I've been running these tools on her, and she finally was okay to do a reading program camp, and her confidence has increased a lot. But, I've had to do a lot of work, and I've had to use these tools every day. And she actually picked up one of the books and just started reading it by herself and read nearly half a book. So can you change things? Yes, you can. You just have to be willing to use the tools. And you just have to be willing to step out of the way of what the results are going to be. I didn't know what the results were going to be, but the fact that she picked up a book and read it, and then she sat down and did the exercises, I mean, that's pretty damn cool. Let's see where we're going. Increase psychic abilities. This is an interesting one because when you get all that non-beneficial energy out of the way, you actually start becoming aware of what your actual abilities are. And what I've learned and what I've seen and what I've become aware of is that the reason why we put that non-beneficial energy in place is to create us as unaware so we don't have to use our abilities. And that actually doesn't work because I find that the non-beneficial energy actually amplifies and irritates the heck out of our psychic abilities, and it actually does the opposite. So like alcohol, people who drink alcohol and do drugs and do all that kind of stuff, thinking that they're squishing their abilities, are actually amplifying their abilities. So when you get in there and you clear out that non-beneficial energy and you get more beneficial energy in there and you start being more your infinite being, I help you manage that awareness that you have. And the reason why we shut it down is because we're getting all this information in, no one's teaching us how to manage it, and we're like, what the hell? And it can get overwhelming. So To stop that overwhelm, we get in there and we give you these tools, we give you these abilities, we give you the awareness, and we teach you, hey, this is try these tools. Which ones work for you? So yes, it will increase your psychic abilities, but that's where that confidence and that's where that trust and that value comes in. It also raises your frequency and your consciousness. So these are very important tools, and let me just go back to them again for you. There we go. Kevlar net for clearing, bubble god bubble, letter bubble, double bubble, triple bubble, cutting cords, hologram, and forgiveness. So there you have it, folks. Alrighty, I will sign off here, and you head over to the first. You can do them in any order you want. I've got them ordered for you. And it probably might be wise to go in that order if you want to, but like I said, pick a topic and try the forgiveness exercise. Pick a topic and run through everything. It's up to you how you do it. I mean, this is just a guide, so use your knowing and do what works for you. Alrighty, I'll see you in the next exercise, in the first exercise.